Hi, everybody. The Iceman here on this Monday night. We're, like about, an hour and maybe 20 minutes away from Monday Night Raw tonight. A lot of good things going to happen tonight. We're going to see Nikki Bella go up against Charlotte for the WWE's Divas title. It should be a fun Monday Night Raw because it is the go home show. So usually the go home shows are pretty good. And so I'm looking forward to that, tonight. So also there's just a lot of neat shit that's been happening today. Maybe a lot of people don't want to agree with it, but the bottom line is, yeah, the Iceman is involved in a lot of different things right now, and we're hoping that these lot of different things come to fruition, and we'll just wait and see if they do or not. That's just the bottom line. That's just how it goes, and that's how we're going to treat it as well. So we are going to go from there. I have some people that I've invited to this hangout, and there's one guy I'm really looking forward to talking about. That's KKD. I haven't talked to him in a long time, and he just told me he'll be on like 15 minutes. But yeah, so anyway, we're shooting before Raw here on a Monday night, and I want to put this out there that we got to understand the world of professional wrestling, that it is what it is. Wrestling is not as good as it used to be, and we need to understand that, and we need to just cope with the product that we got. And I do as well. I have a very good friend, the diehard WWE addict on Facebook and YouTube, and him and I are both big John Cena fans. Okay, and we get it. We don't see John Cena on very often, but we understand it. Because we are wrestling fans, and we're just trying to do, what we got to do. And, hopefully the link I sent out works, because, I just know how Google is. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy and paste it again. I think I'm okay.
Hello.
But hey, there you are. What's up, brother?
Hey, mate. Just relaxing, just chilling out.
Man, it's good to talk to you. It's good to talk to you, my friend. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Bit of a sore back, but
Yeah. I think I sort of understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna, obviously I'm not gonna say this on air. So,
yeah.
But wow, it's like, damn. I mean, let me ask you this though. I mean, you can tell me this on air without really giving anything away. Have you made a decision on what you're going to do?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it what I think it's going to be? Is it a positive thing?
Oh yeah.
All right, man. Then go for it. Go for it. You got my approval.
Hell yeah. I mean, I put it this way, like where I've been mentally in the last 4 years, I didn't think this would happen again, ever. And if there's a chance it can work, then I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it.
Why not?
I can. Yeah.
No, you You make the effort, and I applaud you for that. Because the bottom line is, we've all been in certain places at certain times, and we've all been where maybe we're depressed. I'm in a depression right now, and I think if you've seen anything on my Facebook page, I'm like just like totally out of it. I'm like really ticked off. But
Yeah.
if there's any kind of way that, if you're in this kind of depression and you think you can get yourself out of it, why not do it, man? Go for it.
You got to do what you got to do to make you to find that inner happiness, that fucking fulfillment.
Exactly. And I don't know you really personally. I know you here on Facebook and YouTube, and it's sort of ironic too, because some of the things you had mentioned to me in our personal messages back and forth, I can relate to exactly what you're saying, because I can tell that you are an intelligent person, and you're looking for an answer from somebody that you think is intelligent, and I appreciate that. And so with all that being said, yeah, this is awesome.
Well, I don't know. I just, it goes back to your wrestling opinion. I value that, and you offer a different perspective, and you're obviously a bit older than I am. You've lived life, and I feel that I could get some legitimate advice on situations and scenarios. I do have family. I do talk to my father or my brothers, and they offer advice too, but I'm never, my mind is never closed to other people who may have who I feel that have a legitimate or valid, I'm trying to sound too intelligent here, a valid or intelligent, sort of helpful comment or anything or advice. Yeah. I mean, I'm not book smart. I'm not book smart. I didn't finish school. I was a fucking idiot as a teenager, and I paid for it, and I had to educate myself. So,
I will say this: you don't sound like that. I mean, you to me, you have a lot of input, and I value that input. And but like with family and whatnot, they're not always, and I don't mean this in a bad way. They're not always the best to tell you what you should do. It's it's in your heart, and if this is what you feel that you should do in your heart, then guess what? By all means, go for it. And I'm hoping everything works out for you. And I'm hoping that, you and I will talk about this as time goes on, because I am very interested, because being on YouTube and being on Facebook, I consider you a very valued friend.
And are you, Iceman? But yeah, I mean, I do. I have talked to this person a lot, and I have reflected in the last 4 years a lot of shit in my personal life, and most of the time I knew what was up and I knew what was coming, and a lot of people will just blow that off. But I trust my gut. My gut tells me, go. So I'm gonna go.
And the thing of it is, if you didn't do what your gut told you, then you're always going to second guess yourself. So I've been in that situation as well before. I'm going to tell you something. I've been in relationships, right? Okay. I was in a relationship, the most recent one, which my girlfriend had passed away. But while I was with her, um, I I wasn't the best of guys. I mean, I never treated her ill or anything like that, but I drank a lot, and my drinking was sort of like that was the most important thing. And so I remember going out with friends and stuff, and I had brought this girl home from a party who which like was like 25 years younger than me. And this is the God's honest truth. She wanted me to come in, that she wanted me for more than obvious reasons.
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
And but the thing of it was because I was with my girlfriend, I never ever cheated on her, and I never did. And so I sort of know where you're coming from. I yeah, I mean, God, it's like there's been times where I say to myself, I go, should I have or shouldn't I have? But the bottom line is the decision I made was the right one. And even though my girlfriend is no longer with me and whatnot, man, I'm proud of the decision I made. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I
But
mean,
in your case, it's a little different. I understand that. And
yeah,
so I would really, if this is something that you want to do, man, you won't know until you actually try it.
that's right. That's right. I mean, I look back at things and I go, why didn't I take advantage of that situation? Why did I overthink that? Why did I end up fucking doing that? So
Right.
that's all prepared me for now. That's the way I look at it. Every
And
single thing in my
and I
life
won't,
thus far has prepared me for this next step,
it,
whatever that is.
it's an adventure. It's an
It is.
adventure, man. And it's God, it's like we don't know until we try it, you know what I'm saying? Um I God, geez. I think about what you had told me, and if I was in that situation, um if I wasn't with somebody, then I absolutely would have made the attempt, like you were trying to do. And because I would say to myself, if I didn't try, I never would know. You know what I'm saying?
And that would bother you down the
Of
line,
course
wouldn't
it
it?
would. Of
Yeah.
course it would. It would always be in the back of my mind, and I'm sure that will be in the back of your mind if you don't make the attempt. And from what you told me, like I said, I will not going to divulge any kind of information, but
I appreciate that.
I think what you are trying to do is really a very decent thing.
I mean, all people deserve this. We all do. Even the
Right. We
fucking
all
trolls
deserve
out
a
there.
chance. You're right.
Even the people who piss us off online, even the people who get into, they come and every human, every man as men, we need this too. Like fuck, we need this. Um,
Exactly.
because when that starts doing what it does, and when it does, you know, you can't shut it off, and it's distracting. It distracts you when you're working, and there's obviously like some things just make it harder, like circumstances, like I told you, and yeah, I mean, I've been injured for over 12 months. I have worked 20-hour weeks, 5-hour weeks. So money is not helpful, but I don't fucking care because I'm gonna do what it takes. And if it is, it is. If it's to be, it's to be. And if it's not to be, well, I tried and I know.
Yeah. I know exactly where you're coming from. Believe me, I do. I gosh. When I was younger, like when, I have a good idea how old you are, but I will say this: I'm probably not quite twice your age, but I probably am somewhere in the area. But
I'm 28.
I've lived life, and it's sort of funny, when you got some like when you like somebody, and then you oh my God, you get possessive, and you get this and you get that, and you can't stop thinking about them when you go to bed at night. You're infatuated and whatnot. Um, yeah,
And when you're at work,
life brings you a lot of issues, but I'm going to say this because of what you told me. Um, I don't think this is really the case. I think more so you're out there to try to help somebody, and you know,
yeah,
uh, man, you don't
I
know
wish I
how
could.
much praise
I
I have for you for feeling the way that you do. You really don't.
Yeah, well, I mean, I appreciate my life and what I have and my family, and the fact that when I hit rock bottom 4 years ago, and I hit that son of a bitch hard, and I stayed down there, and fate put its boot on the back of my head and ground my face into the concrete and made me eat shit. But I got up, and I found me again, and I did that because of my family, because they were there for me.
Right.
People don't, not
Absolutely.
everyone's
Yeah.
that lucky.
Yeah.
And that kind of, I know it sounds sickening and corny, but that does make me kind of sad that not everyone has that sort of support.
No,
It's sad.
don't
Shouldn't be that.
feel sick. Don't feel corny, because family is the most important thing in anybody's life. My mom and dad are both passed away now, and believe me, I'm going to tell you something right now. The issues I'm going through right now, I'm trying to get unemployment, because for the simple fact is, I'm out of work, and they gave me a week unemployment, and then they shut me down and whatnot. But I would gladly have my mom and dad around so I could talk to them about it. They make me feel a lot better. Um,
They
but
do.
all I got is YouTube people and Facebook people, and it's people like you that get me through a course of a day at times, and you don't know how much I appreciate it.
Not a problem. Not a problem at all. I mean, I do not regret. My wrestling channel is gone, yes. And that name, King Kondo, is meaningless. My name is Michael. That's who I am. And not King Kondo. I'm just a man. I'm a man from New Zealand. And I have, I don't regret it for a second making that YouTube channel. I don't regret deleting it either, because it was done. And right now in the YWC, I haven't seen a lot of videos. I haven't. There are a lot of hangouts. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who doesn't like who, but I made it clear, like, I'm going to stay sub to whoever I want to sub to and talk to whoever I want to and comment on whoever's videos I want to. And the people I've met, yeah, I mean, I told Robbie Battle and I hang out. I could happily have a beer with Robbie Battle and have a good chat to him, and it'd be like real life. Chris Michaels is another guy. There are a lot of bad people on this website, yes. Well, not maybe not bad people. They do bad shit. I don't know if that makes them bad people per se, but there are good people on here, and some good people have done bad things, and they admit it, and then they try and move on. And I mean, the way I've always looked at it, a lot of guys that I'm sub to, they have done some dumb things. They've said some pretty despicable things, but we all are human. We all make mistakes, and the majority of those people, with the exception of a couple, have always admitted when they're wrong, pretty much, when they've done wrong.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
I
that's my
agree.
yeah. I mean, I think you know some of the people I'm talking about,
Oh, I know everybody you're talking about. I know everybody you're talking about.
and
Um,
I think they're good. I think they're good. I mean,
uh,
I'm not going to change my opinion about that, but I think they're good.
I am going to praise somebody, and that is Boston Fan 79 V1, Chris. He's been one of my favorite people on YouTube. I'm going to praise David Rivera, Fort Minor Project. He's one of my favorite people on YouTube. David Rivera doesn't talk bad about anybody. Chris doesn't either. We all just, you know, we all get caught up sometimes in the situation where we're stuck in, and we need to comment on it. And sometimes it doesn't make us look good, but
Mm.
other than that, but with you, um, it's sort of interesting because I never really heard a real lot from you, but when I did, when I go in my subscription box and I saw a video from KKD, and
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to watch it. Now, yeah, you just express yourself. Your name is Michael, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know that. I'm glad that I do know it. But when you did these videos, I couldn't wait to watch them because you were one of those guys that I don't care what anybody says. You said how it was, and
Just how
um,
I saw it. Just how I saw it. It wasn't,
exactly. And
it
you,
wasn't
you
always
don't
right
know
either.
what that means to me because I wish more people were out there doing that kind of stuff. I really do. I mean, we got to deal with everybody that's trying to be fake and trying to make a name for themselves and whatever. But I just like being me. And I have a lot of issues trying to be me because people try to make me not be me. And I just try to do the best I can. And I do make mistakes, and I'll be the first one to admit it for sure.
I mean, did you watch me and Robbie Battle do the Battle Zone?
Yeah, and I want to say this to you. I don't know if you know this. Robbie made a video. He's done with YouTube. He's gone.
Yeah. I mean, he did say to me, I'm thinking about YouTube on Facebook. And sorry, Robbie, if you feel that's me betraying your trust. I'm not trying to do that. But I just simply said, do what you got to do. That
Yeah,
makes you
Robbie.
feel,
I like
yeah,
Robbie.
I do
Yeah, I
too.
like
He's a
Robbie. He's got a
genuine
lot.
guy.
He's got a lot of personal issues, and maybe he shouldn't have expressed everything to the public. But you want to know something? I give him a lot of credit for doing so.
But he reaches out to people and he trusts these people, you know. And
Yeah.
I yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he definitely is, and he deserved a lot better. And I wish him the very very best. And I'm hopeful that he comes back as well as you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I look. I'm going to disclose this too. Yes, I go and I have been very distant from wrestling since WrestleMania. You know, it was a very disappointing build up to everything, and a lot of people. I mean, here's the classic John Cena hate thing: the 5 moves of doom. Well, that's not just Mr. Cena. That's Mr. fucking every wrestler on the roster. I mean, it's all so scripted. I mean, anyone. I mean, Kurt Angle would come back and they give him 3 moves to do.
Exactly.
Guy, that guy like that. So it's done. And I don't see. I mean, I listen to Hangouts and I listen to people's opinions and I listen to them say about all this talent they got, right? But I don't see stars. Like when people talk about star power, like you got to really think Ultimate Warrior and Hogan and Randy Savage and fucking Steve Austin. And John Cena's the biggest star from this generation. You know, he's the biggest that they've got. They've had chances to try and build other stars, but are they as marketable at the end of the day? And that's what a lot of these see, the new school wrestling fans, man. I can't identify with them. I cannot identify with the guys who just they love the wrestling and all that, and they love the wrestling moves, and they really like the Brad Rules. He puts a lot. He's a good guy, but he puts way too big of an emphasis on moves. And I mean, Warrior versus Hogan at WrestleMania 3, I think. No, was it WrestleMania? Which WrestleMania 6 was it?
I think it was 6, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That match is one of the best matches I've ever seen. And it had almost no moves, really. But it told a story.
But
And it had it,
you know, the funny thing about that was we sort of knew who was going to win going into that match too, as well.
yeah.
I agree with a lot of things you're saying, and you know, you know, everybody talking about John Cena, the 5 moves of doom, and everything else. The bottom line is, I'm trying to take wrestling as it is today. Yeah, it's not the greatest. Yeah, obviously it's not. It's nowhere near what it used to be, because when I watch the old NWA days and stuff, to me, that was that was the best time. And then we get into the WCW days when Bischoff made WCW #1 in the ratings. Yeah, they had NWO, but what did he do? He messed it all up by constantly being, you know, promoting NWO, NWO, NWO. And he constantly talked about Vince McMahon to the point where, you know something, when Vince came on TV in the WWF, it was the best thing for them. I think Vince was probably the best owner character ever on any wrestling promotion. And what he did was phenomenal. Him and Austin, and you know, even ongoing Shane. I mean, I love Shane McMahon. I think Shane was one of the better McMahon characters ever. And to this day, I still wish that he was still around, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. I wish he was still around, but I think he had differing opinions about what direction to take the company, so he walked away and did his own thing.
Yeah, him and Vince didn't see eye to eye, and they left. You know, Shane sort of like left, and he was actually, there was a very good period of time where Shane and Vince didn't even speak in real life, and you know, that's unfortunate too as well. But I remember the one night, I forget who he was wrestling, but he climbed, I think it was Kurt Angle. He climbed up that friggin' platform and whatever it was, and then he fell off that platform wrestling Kurt Angle. And I'm thinking to myself, this is Shane McMahon. He's not even a wrestler, and look what he just freaking did for the WWE. It's like, oh my God, half these other guys on the roster would never even do this.
That was against Steve Blackman at SummerSlam 2000.
It was Blackman. Okay, you're right. You're right. It was Blackman.
He fell like 20 feet too. It was crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It was Blackman. You're right. But God, I mean, it was like phenomenal. I didn't, oh gosh. I love reliving these days. And you know what I do now is I watch old TNA footage. My nephew, Matt, he's got every single file from TNA from very, very beginning to the very, very present. He's got every TNA Impact Wrestling, whether they were on Fox Sports or, you know, whether it was a $10 pay-per-view. I get anything I want to watch from him because I am a big TNA fan, regardless of what's going on now. But this is what I do because wrestling can be so boring. I go back and I watch this kind of stuff. As far as WCW goes, I've seen it all live. I've seen it all. It's in my head, and
It's there. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. But I'm telling you, watching like TNA from like 2005, 2006. I mean, I know a lot of people say, well, Jeff Jarrett was always on top. He was always a champion. But if you watch all this stuff and you see what Jeff Jarrett did, he made these shows so special.
Yeah. I mean, I only worked out, sorry, not worked out. I should say found out about TNA in about 2012. Didn't know it existed until then.
So you were late, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I didn't know.
teenage days, man. I'm telling you, if you get the opportunity to watch anything from like 2005, if you can find it and get the opportunity, watch it, and then I'm telling you right now, you're gonna say to yourself, "Wow, man, Jeff was right, man. The Iceman had it right. This was really good stuff."
Yeah. Sorry about the noise. I'm just looking for a filter.
I didn't even hear any noise, to be honest with you.
I'm just rummaging around looking for a filter. I mean, as far as like, because this is what happens in my videos. You see, I went to make a point and then I went off on a tangent about my channel, and why I stopped making vids so often is because, yeah, I mean, I applied for airtime at a local student radio station, should I say, and I got it. And so I talk about that every 2 weeks on there with a panel of guys, and some of them are smart marks. Some of them are real fans of the indies. Some of them are TNA fans, and they don't agree or see the product the same way I do in any way, shape, or form. So I was getting wrestling fulfillment out of that already. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't make a productive to have a channel to get subs, to get good views. You got to make vids pretty much every day in wrestling, and you got to be you got to be willing to dabble in a bit of drama. It is what I mean. People give a lot of hate to the guys who make drama vids, right?
Right.
But they'll watch, they'll make sure they watch, and they will comment every time.
Exactly what I just got done saying today. Well, I don't know if you saw the Aaron video about Angie and WJ, and then me and WJ and Aaron were on a hangout, but now it's a work. It's right now, I'm telling you right now, it's a work. That WJ was going to push Aaron to make Aaron look big. They're destroying Angie, but you're going to see in the next couple of days that Angie is going to be forgiven by Aaron and WJ. It's all a work. It's just all a friggin' work.
Hey, I have to say though, like some of those, this period, right? Because I've been in the YWC, because I basically found, Sean's view, and I found rants about John Cena because I was still highly emotional at that point and charged and all that. It's just where I was in my life, and I would vent my anger at John Cena and wrestling and things like that. Yeah, and then I found people like the Dark Horse, and I found, did I say WJ? I found WJ, and I started expanding from there. I'd find Boston Fan and yourself, and I'd think, wow, some of these people are saying things that I've been literally thinking since about 2006. I was like, wow, this is amazing, because I'm not the only one who feels this way. I don't feel I'm not the only one who's disgruntled with the product and feels that it's just terrible. And the product is terrible. John Cena was gone for 3 weeks, I think it was, and every Raw was garbage. It was terrible. It was so bad. So, back in 2006, if I wanted WWE to get better, turn John Cena heel after WrestleMania 22.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I always wish John would turn heel. I just don't see it
No,
because
not
of
now.
young kid, obviously, and we all know that.
Yeah,
Um,
but
but
now, yeah,
I will, I need to say this. I think John Cena gets a lot of hate he don't deserve. I mean, but it is what it is. So
well, you remember my video where I was basically pointing out the difference between the people who truly have a problem with the Cena character, and then the people who just sort of see guys my age, and I don't mean to sound like
no, I
arrogant,
know what
but
you mean. Yep, yep.
they see the way we react because they've grown up in the PG era now. I mean, I've really, I got to think of 2005 was 10 years ago, and these kids have grown up into teenagers, and when you're a teenager, like I said in Robbie Battle's video, a lot of the time you become a follower and you be what you think other people want you to be.
Exactly. Thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've been saying that for a long time, and to hear you say that, believe me, you're right. Absolutely right. People come on, and because they hear a lot of John Cena hate, they automatically hate him. And you're right. You're right. Absolutely.
But that applies to so much, but especially the new generation has seen it. I mean, I made vids saying, if you truly don't want this man to be on top, you got to stop talking. You just got to stop. You got to stop reacting. That's the only way to stop it. And maybe they'll re-examine his gimmick.
Right.
But
And the simple thing is, the more you talk about John Cena, the more attention he gets, like you just said. And here's the bottom line. This is what the WWE loves. I mean, if and that's the thing when he's on TV, which, people are going to understand. John Cena is very, very rarely on WWE TV. If he's on Raw, it's like maybe 5, 7 minutes or whatever. And, you know, when he is on, he gets his, let's go Cena sucks chance. But I will say this in, in all of it, after it's all being said and done, you get those Cena suck chants, but it goes to show you that people do give a shit. You know what I mean?
oh yeah,
Otherwise, they wouldn't even say it. And when Cena's gone, I don't care what anybody says right now. I'm a John Cena fan, but I'm more of
yeah,
a John Cena fan outside of the ring than
right.
inside the ring. But the thing of it is, when John Cena's gone, people are gonna say, "Wow, who are we gonna complain about now?" I mean, they're gonna be lost. They're gonna be totally friggin' lost.
I mean, I can't really. I don't blame him in some ways for taking advantage of a situation that really he didn't. I mean, he didn't. He probably didn't know that guys like Steve Austin were going to retire so early, that Goldberg was going to be disenfranchised and dislike a lot of the things that the WWE at the time stood for, and he quit because he didn't want his fans who are kids. Because Goldberg's actually more PG than Cena in that respect. He loved the children. Okay, he doesn't want his kid. You look it up. You don't believe me? Goldberg said this. He doesn't want his child fans watching that kind of content.
Right.
He didn't agree with it. So in some ways he's more PG, but man, he is intense. He was a scary man. I mean, he intimidated me through my television. A lot of like very similar to the way I feel intimidated when I see Brock Lesnar.
I love Goldberg. I always did love Goldberg when he was in WCW. When I'm going to tell you, when he beat Hogan in July, I think it was July 7th of I forget what year it was. But anyway, he only held his title till December, and I'm saying to myself, you got to be kidding me. You got Scott Hall coming in with a taser, and then Kevin Nash gets the pin. I go, is this really how you're going to beat Goldberg? And the bottom line with all that was, he never got the title back.
It was also a retarded way to finish it.
Exactly.
Like they did some
Exactly.
dumb shit. They did some
Yeah,
seriously.
they
They
did.
did some
Yeah, they did.
dumb shit. Yeah.
Yep, they did. And Goldberg, the only thing with Goldberg was, they made, people don't understand his very first match he lost. They never talked about it, but it doesn't matter to me. My girlfriend Peggy and I were huge Goldberg fans. And this is one of the reasons why I watched WCW back then, because I was a Goldberg fan. And quite honest with you, NWO, I was so sick and tired of them getting the spotlight. If it wasn't for NWO, maybe we would have seen Chris Jericho. Maybe we would have seen Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Perry Saturn, Dean Malenko. Maybe we would have seen them do a lot bigger and better things in WCW. But of course, Bischoff was like so close to Hogan
Yeah.
and Nash and Hall. I mean, it just wasn't going to be.
And all of those said individuals were going through some pretty tough personal times as well, pretty
Oh,
fucked up
hell yeah.
times, and it translated to their content they had on television. The snow
Well,
and Vince Russo, Vince Russo, yeah.
Grow up on Eric Bischoff. Remember that?
Pardon?
We saw Scott Hall throw up on Eric Bischoff. I mean, come on. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, I mean that company needed a drug counselor, and they just needed to. They needed a more professional management.
yeah.
They
Eric
they
even said that
imploded.
they were they did a lot of drinking, they did a lot of cocaine,
Yeah,
they just did a lot of drugs, but the bottom line is they were on top of the world. They really didn't care at the time, and that's where Eric Bischoff should have really started to stop and think. But then again, he's got everybody, the superstars backing him, and he thought he was number one in his eyes. And little did he know there was another promotion called the WWF that, and I will say this: if it
it was a
wasn't for
team.
Shawn Michaels sticking with the WWF, maybe WWF would have gone down. But Vince had a loser, in Shawn Michaels, because Shawn Michaels was a drug addict as well.
Oh yeah, oh
He
yeah.
did a lot of fucked up shit. But the bottom line is, you know, Shawn Michaels cleaned his act up and he helped Vince McMahon. And then Vince said, "Hey, you want to something, Eric Bischoff? You want to go on TV? I'm going to go on TV." And he went on TV, and then he created Stone Cold Steve Austin, the biggest thing that ever was in the world of professional wrestling.
But the thing is, Steve Austin had the other alter ego to work on.
Oh yeah, yep.
Vince. Vince is amazing on the mic. He would make my father laugh. I remember that. I was watching Raw War and maybe between 98 and 2002 at my parents' house. And yeah, Vince McMahon was in the ring, and it might have even been at Backlash. It might have been Backlash 2000, but he said something along the lines of, "I'm going to tell you something that no one has the balls to tell you. And it's the God honest truth. Life's a bitch, and then you die." And like, it's just a great, he's so great on the mic. He's intense.
Vince
He's
to
got
me
it.
was like all his expressions he used to make. Oh my God. I mean, I always told my nephew Matt, I go, check this out. Look at how Vince is looking right now. Vince had the best expressions of anybody ever in the world of professional wrestling.
No doubt. And it's sad that he's so determined with Kevin Dunn, to do things his way,
Yep.
I mean, I really thought about it. I think the first 5 years of the "Let's Go Cena, Cena sucks" thing, and them telling Cena to go out there and smile at people saying "fuck you" in unison to him, it's about them being right. It's about That's what I think it comes down to. Something as petty as that. And now it's gotten bigger because of the corporate side and the Make-A-Wish and all this other stuff that they've put John Cena in.
Well,
They yeah,
the
but
you know I will say this about Cena on the outside of the WWE, like the Make a Wish and stuff, and everybody was complaining about the fact that his 500th Make a Wish was aired on the Today Show on NBC here in America. It wasn't WWE, it wasn't John Cena, it was the Make a Wish because John Cena was, you know, the guy, the only guy ever to have the 500 Make a Wish, and in essence, I look at a lot of things in real perspective that everybody sees everything that the John Cena does is involved in the WWE, but in essence, it's really not. He does a lot of things on the outside, like the Susan G. Komen thing for breast cancer and whatnot. Um, it it ain't always about the WWE, and people got to realize that. They got to think twice and say, hey, man, something. You know, it's not John Cena doing it because of the WWE. It's John Cena doing it because it's who John Cena really truly is.
yeah. But I think they need to stop blurring the lines between entertainment and reality. You know what I'm saying? Like Macho Man when he was at the peak of his heel phase, and that guy was at the children's hospital all the time. The children's hospital where Hogan claimed they made peace, and then you found out through Warrior that Hogan tried to get out the back door and avoided Macho Man when he was there.
Yeah, that's
I
where
think,
they get the storylines, which were really totally asinine in my eyes.
but here's what I'm saying though. John's fans, like a lot of them are children. They do get upset when he loses, right? Because I used to get upset when The Rock lost. I did upset me. I didn't like it. But my parents explained to me that it's not real. And I think there's a lot of parents out there who don't do that. They let their kids play Grand Theft Auto 4, 5. They let them play that shit. They let them play any violent video game, watch any program they want. And they don't sit down and say, well, hey, if The Rock gets hit in the head with a chair by Stone Cold and gets wailed on the ground, and Austin screaming abuse, see, these kids wouldn't be able to take that shit. They would be scared by Steve Austin. He was an intense man. But yeah, like I knew it was fake. That Steve Austin and The Rock, or Rock and Triple H, they hate each other. No, maybe they had some heat in the past, but people make too big of a deal out of that sort of stuff. They spend that much time together. Like, I mean, Lesnar and Cena, they come from the same wrestling school. To be fair, look how many times they put. I mean, a lot of people, we didn't like the amount of matches Cena and Brock had, particularly in this era. But in saying that, John Cena is the only guy, and Brock Lesnar, they trust each other to work together. Like Undertaker going back to wrestle Lesnar, that match at SummerSlam was outstanding. I think Lesnar did, for what he is, a big goofball with no personality, but for what he is, he did what he could to make Taker look good, and
That
that
that's
finish.
something that people don't get. They don't understand that certain wrestlers only want to wrestle other certain wrestlers because they trust them. And you're right. This is one of the reasons why Undertaker lost to Lesnar at WrestleMania, and the streak ended because they're good friends and whatnot. This is why John Cena and CM Punk had so many great matches because they trusted each other. This is why so many other wrestlers wrestle each other, and it was like with Seth Rollins breaking John Cena's nose. People don't, they use this to their advantage in the WWE. Seth Rollins stating, pretty much that what he said about Cena and whatnot. But if you read a lot of stuff outside the world of professional wrestling, Rollins even stated, he goes, when it happened, I knew he broke his nose. I knew something was wrong. But he goes, the bottom line is John finished off the match. And, you know, I mean, how much better can you say about a star than to say something like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I
I
mean,
know what
I'm
you
a
mean.
John Cena fan. You know that. I'm going to stick up for Cena.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I know.
regardless, with everybody else as well, um, I'm not a big Lesnar fan. I never have been. I don't like the fact that he just likes to come in and get big bucks and have so many appearances. Sting, I've always liked Sting, but I'm starting to think the same thing about him as well. But I will say this: Sting has not. The WWE hasn't given Sting anything.
No,
So I'm going to wait to see what happens after Night of Champions.
I think WWE is very. They are holding because they do not. They do not want the persona of Brock Lesnar, his real personality, to be out there. They don't want that. They do not want that. As long as we buy into his character, then his character is effective. But when that is gone, if I knew that, if I see footage of Lesnar hanging out the back with John and with Taker and Vince and talking to Batista, then it does sort of change the way you think about him in a way. And it affects his wrestling persona. So they are desperately trying to keep that the uncaring, the uncaring prick who he doesn't care. But I mean, I saw recently he was defending the WWE against MMA fans who were trashing it, saying he's a coward for staying there and all this stuff. And he just said the difference is maybe we know the outcome, but the risks are high. They're all the same, and he would know. I mean, he's done both at the highest level, and I remember that people, the MMA press is they're vultures. They try and get to people's personal lives. They try and get you to say anything they can so they can make a story and promote controversy. And it's just sad because sometimes it works. Sometimes it does work.
Most of the time, it does work. Actually, most of the time, it does work. Yeah.
And these athletes, they'll see what they say about something and they'll think they'll see it published and they'll say, well, that's in a completely different context to what I meant. And that guy who wrote the story knows that. And that would piss them off. So, I mean, I'm glad Brock stayed, but the guy is lucky to still be able to do anything. I mean, he's made it clear his top priority are his children. Okay, I can respect that, but he started training with CM Punk, doing some training with CM Punk. Despite what the WWE think, he still did that anyway. And these guys, like you said, John Cena's doing his thing outside of wrestling, and if it pisses WWE off, if he does something that pisses WWE off, then so be it. But he's going to do it. And The Rock became a movie star. He wanted to do it. CM Punk wants to be an MMA fighter. He's been given an opportunity. Yes, I have complained about CM Punk and I have buried him a few times, but situations or things he's said, I'm not judging him as a human. I mean, he is an opportunity. Only an idiot would turn down what he's been given. Okay.
Absolutely. Right. No, I have always liked CM Punk. I didn't like the way he left the WWE. I think that wasn't appropriate the way he did it. We were talking about The Rock leaving and becoming a movie star and whatnot. And, John Cena, as well as, I've noticed a lot that he's on, on the Today Show and in America. He's done Not Regis, but Kelly and Michael Strahan. He's done their shows. He's done a lot more of that, and he's done his movies. Trainwreck. I watched Trainwreck. I thought it was a pretty good movie. Not that John Cena was a star. Amy Schumer was. It was a pretty good movie, but John Cena is putting himself out there, and I honestly do see that John Cena is, he's got a future somewhere after the WWE, and whether other people like it or not, I don't know, but I'm pretty cool with it. Being a John Cena fan, um, you done what you could do within the ring for so many years, and you're going to show what you can do outside the ring. And really, what is wrong with all that? I mean, the way I look
There
at
is
it.
the thing is though, his fans will turn on him.
Of
They will
course.
turn on, and it's just unreal that some of these people, some of you people out there, fucking think that your wrestling is so fucking important that someone should spend their entire fucking life slaving for you on TV because it's important to you.
Exactly.
They can't have goals with their fucking lives. The Rock said he always wanted to be a movie star, and this is why a lot of other Rock fans I don't like, because they're fake. They're fucking phony. They're so selfish and so consumed by the world of wrestling. They don't understand that, hey, this person might have personal goals. If you have no personal goals, that's your problem. You sort that out. No one owes me shit. Not one wrestler owes me a fucking thing. Okay, and if Undertaker walks away tomorrow, never has another match, thumbs up for me, dead man. Thank you for everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was hard to let go when The Rock left. It was real hard. It was so boring because so many top guys left at once. And the WWE were forced to rebuild with Dave Bautista and John Cena.
John, The Rock and Stone Cold. I've said this on a number of occasions. I watch a lot of old pay-per-views. Nobody, and I mean nobody, ever got the crowd reaction like The Rock and Stone Cold got, ever. And I'll say this to this day: there's nobody now, and I honestly don't think there will be nobody ever to get the reaction like Stone Cold and The Rock got.
And the way the fans were divided too when they were both baby faces. Whoo! Hot crowds every night, just hot crowds, and not doing all this marks, because I hate to say it, but the WrestleMania after Raw, I'm starting to not look forward to. In a sense, because what they're doing is not the same as back then. Yeah, they're making a lot of noise, but they're being marks. Doing the Fandango music and things like that. It's not the same. Look at me. That's what I think. Look at me, not, oh my God, what's happening right now is so freaking sick. I love it. It's the difference. It's a different, everything is so different, and I feel so out of place in the wrestling world now. And I'm a minority. I'm a fucking minority. A lot of people do think that these guys, I mean, Seth Rollins, he has been booked so badly, and they're booking Roman to look. They've booked the Shield so badly, and they fucked the Wyatt family. I mean, those were 6 guys that I legitimately think, like, man, these guys actually do have potential. Reigns could have been a mongrel, vicious heel, bad guy. He's like, I don't care what you people think, and I'm going to do whatever I want. Believe that. Seth Rollins should have been a hero. The way he wrestles when he's a face, like his match with Cena at SummerSlam, that's babyface wrestling. That's innovative babyface wrestling. And
Seth Rollins, to me, he should be a face. And I've said this on a number of occasions. I think Seth Rollins, I do believe Seth Rollins is going to be the future of the WWE. And if he's not, then the WWE dropped the ball on him, because I think what he needs to do what they need to do is get him away from the authority. Roman Reigns, yeah, I agree with you there as well. I think Roman Reigns, God, they messed him up so bad.
Oh,
Um,
it's terrible.
I don't even know what to say about Roman Reigns, but the bottom line is anybody that hates Roman Reigns, I think you're messed up. I think he's going to be one of these guys here in the WWE that are, it's going to be something major somewhere down the road. But like I said, as far as Seth Rollins goes, he is the future of the WWE, and I do honestly believe that. I don't like the way they're doing and going about it, but something, it is what it is, and I'm just somebody sitting on the outside looking in and watching, and I guess I got to accept it.
All Seth Rollins had to do was win matches clean.
Well, yeah. Well, see, you said a major thing. All Seth Rollins had to do was win matches clean. But the bottom line is, it's the WWE
Yeah.
making him so he don't, and
Yeah.
that's my biggest issue.
Yeah. I mean, why? I mean, what I want to ask Kevin Dunn, why do you do the shit that you do?
Because they're stupid. They're stupid.
But at one point they were brilliant. You know what I'm saying? So what happened to them where they can't expand the envelope? They can't look beyond what they know, and they rejected the internet for a long time. They really did.
Yeah.
And
I've always said this, and I've said it in a number of videos about Seth Rollins. It pisses me off because he is probably one of the best wrestlers they got there, and utilize it in the right way. I do think, this is the thing everybody's saying. Who's going to take the place of John Cena? Well, guess what? You got the best wrestler right there in Seth Rollins that you've got right now in the WWE. Put him as babyface and put him in that situation. Cena's not going to be around probably maybe 3 or 4 years, maybe more. If not, Cena will get his 16th title reign next year, I do believe. But, it doesn't really matter. Seth Rollins is going to be, to me, they ought to make him the guy that's going to be the next John Cena. And if the WWE doesn't realize what they got, then, man, they are making a huge mistake, because you're going to use Kevin Owens or maybe even Samoa Joe, whom I love Samoa Joe. To me, no, you can't do that.
I don't think Kevin Owens has long left, to be honest.
What's that?
I don't think Kevin Owens has a long career in front of him anymore.
I think Kevin Owens he's going nowhere in the WWE. And I said this before when he joined them, because this is how the WWE does a lot of things. They'll grab you from like Ring of Honor and whatnot, but they're just using you for drawing power. But they have no intentions on using you as somebody big within that company. And I know this to be with the WWE. They've done it for a very, very long time.
It's just, I mean, think about, okay, I'm going to use one example of booking this year. Dean Ambrose pinned Seth Rollins for a 1, 2, 3 and got a huge, quite a big pop. And then they overturned it. You got
me started on something, man. Dean Ambrose should have won the WWE World Heavyweight title. I said this before. I don't know why the WWE dropped the ball on this, because Dean Ambrose back then was the biggest thing in the WWE, and they totally screwed up on this. I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you.
And what should have happened after WrestleMania, especially considering what they ended up doing with the streak, which actually as much as I love Taker, it kind of pisses me off because the ending to their match at SummerSlam, that was wrestling, right? But he beat the streak, and that is to be used to put someone over, whoever that was, Punk, Michaels, or Brock Lesnar, who was the one who did it. But just to lose to Taker again, instead of having him lose to Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose or Roman Reigns, and that momentum is transferred to them, and then boom, you've got a new super face, super heel, whatever. You have something that's credible to their fucking CV, to their fucking job sheet, to their their credentials. It's something credible. I beat the guy who beat the Undertaker. I gave him his first loss, and really Lesnar's not going to lose not a single shred of credibility. Same thing if John had lost to Seth at SummerSlam. I mean, Cena wouldn't have lost any credibility. The guy's a 15-time world champion, 10 years at the top of the company.
Exactly. No, you hit it right on the head. And I've talked about this as well before too. Cena doesn't need to get a victory to promote himself because he's already there. And you're right. You're absolutely right.
Neither does Lesnar, to be honest.
That's the thing with Lesnar too. But I look at it this way with Lesnar, with his big contract with the WWE. I think Brock Lesnar has more of an ego, probably, than any other guy on that WWE roster.
He probably does, and that's probably why he's probably why he's been successful. You need some sort of ego to do the kind of shit he does, or any of these people do. The Rock would probably have the biggest ego, actually.
Well, maybe so. I look at Rollins and Cena, and I think, and I wish they would do this. I think these guys could have a number of great matches together.
Best of 5.
Whether they swap the belts or not, I don't know. But I think in my opinion, I think Rollins getting the U.S. belt, to me, didn't make any sense because now you're in this situation where, you got to defend 2 titles. And the WWE, and I'm gonna put this out there, the WWE is looking at Ring of Honor with Jay Lethal holding the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion and the TV Championship.
Yeah, I see what they're trying to do. I see what WWE is trying to do, but I don't understand why.
Well, that's my point too. Yeah.
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Because in the WWE, I think for someone holding the WWE Championship and the United States Championship, unless you're gonna unify them, which if you do, I'll be pissed. Because I don't think it should happen. But then again, I look at it this way, and my nephew put out a good point to me. He goes, yeah, the United States title was from WCW. Think about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe it's a way of the WWE just getting rid of another thing that has something to do with WCW. And I will say this, putting this out there, Sting probably gets paid billions of dollars. And you want to know something? Yeah, he's WCW, but, he's probably getting paid an awful lot not to win.
Good on him in a way. Good on him. I mean, it used to bother me how much some of these guys would get, but I mean, compared to the past, they get even the part-timers like Sting and Lesnar, they're really getting paid nothing compared to what they were paid. I mean, Steve Austin, you're talking about tens of millions a year, and everyone else is making millions, and it's fucking crazy. I heard the rumors that John Cena's on 3.5 mil a year, around that number, access to a private jet, his own personal bus. But all those perks they're not like they were. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
Cena don't get paid shit as far as the Lesnar contract or as far as the Sting contract. You know, and you know, if I were like Cena and Randy Orton and shit, I would say, man, come on, what are you guys doing? Renegotiate. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
that's yeah. Well, so, I mean, Orton's trying that now. He's trying to get a part-time deal. I think John
Well,
Cena should go part-time too. Why not?
yeah,
Why not?
wrestling is wrestling. Um, Being a Cena fan, I can. Oh God, I don't want to say I don't. I want to see him leave, but um, the bottom line is when Cena and Orton are gone, man, WWE is going to say, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. And it's hard for me to see because I don't like John Cena's character, and I don't. I'm kind of sick of Orton too. And I remember when Orton first won the World Heavyweight Championship, I didn't think he deserved it. I thought he was a
Orton
boring.
was pretty cool. I mean, I liked him in Evolution. I liked him with Legacy. I liked him when he had the situation with Triple H where I think was it Triple H that went to Orton's house or Orton went to Triple H's house? I forget.
Oh, in 2009, yeah.
Yeah,
Triple H
I
was
mean that was a pretty good storyline.
it
Uh,
was,
but
and then Orton won.
I'm going to bring up somebody that's now no longer there in the WWE or WWF that I thought had the best storylines ever, and that was Kurt Angle. I loved Kurt Angle in the early days. I mean,
Such a natural talent.
everything he friggin' did was like totally awesome with Stephanie, Triple H, The Rock. It didn't matter. Um,
He was great. Him and Brock Lesnar had
he
unbelievable.
was awesome.
I mean, he's the best. If all these people online who love talking about flipping and kicks and all this other wonderful stuff and the red arrow, I'm sorry, but Kurt Angle, he's a better wrestler. He's got a gold medal for wrestling. He was a world champion, Olympic gold medalist. He is the best wrestler, period.
Yeah,
no one can touch him. Not even a decorated.
No matter what he did, he was just fun to watch.
He was. I mean, some of his best matches were with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Obviously, Brock Lesnar and him had some because of the wrestling, the amateur wrestling.
Triple H.
Triple H. He had great matches with guys who couldn't wrestle.
Undertaker,
yeah. Every feud he was ever in was great. Him and Jericho, him and Benoit, him and Mick Foley, all the antics between Mick Foley and Kurt Angle and Edge. He was one of a kind, and
that's another guy.
It's such a shame,
the guy you mentioned, Mick Foley. Oh my God, Royal Rumble 2000.
Holy shit!
Oh my God, I'll watch it over and over and over. Him and Triple H were like, God, I gotta say this. I've never seen a better match.
It's definitely one of the best. And
yeah, I mean, I've seen the Hell in the Cells with Triple H and Foley and whatnot, but God, Royal Rumble, just like it's one of my favorites.
And then Foley was gone. He's just gone.
Yep.
Cactus Jack. And I used to think, I remember being a kid and I'd be watching Raw 2 weeks after No Way Out. And I'm like, Foley's not there again. Cactus Jack's gone. It hit me. I was like, Cactus Jack's not coming back. He's done. And that fucking sucked. It really sucked. But I don't want, let's fast forward to today. I don't want these guys to just go and go and go until they're crippled, until they got concussions for the rest of their life. Guys like Orton and Cena, when I say they should be pushing for part-time contracts, as much as whether I like them or not in the ring is not really relevant at this point. It's, do they want to have a quality life after wrestling? Let's say if
when I'm thinking about Cena or Orton or whatever, and even with Triple H, the way he sort of abruptly left the ring.
I miss him.
Yeah, he did his pay-per-views. He had great pay-per-views with Lesnar.
I just miss him.
They were awesome. But like with John Cena being a John Cena guy, I don't really know who I'd want to see him face in his very, very last match. God, it could be. Oh God, I really don't know.
As many people as this will piss off, I'm going to say it anyway, but I think someone like Roman Reigns.
Yes, that would be good. No, that's a good one.
Company. Yeah,
that's a good one. Yeah, yeah, because I do. I've been reading that Cena and Reigns are gonna go after each other for the title next year, and
that'll be good for Reigns.
It does happen. And and the bottom line is, man, I don't care what anybody says. I like Roman Reigns. I think he got screwed over. I think the Royal Rumble deal, because everybody wanted Daniel Bryan to win, really mess up Roman Reigns. And the bottom line, I'm sorry, I like Roman Reigns, I really do.
Yeah, it's not that bad. He really isn't that bad. I mean,
no, he's a lot better than what people give him credit for. That's for sure.
Because when I look at that company, I see a lot of jobbers. Bray Wyatt, I think he's a jobber. I shouldn't think that, but that's
no. Bray Wyatt is a jobber. No, you're not wrong in saying that. He is a jobber. He is a jobber.
A total jobber. Yeah.
I mean, they got a lot of jobbers that were. These guys were supposed to be somebody and they weren't. Look at Dolph Ziggler. You don't think Dolph Ziggler's a jobber? He's a jobber.
He's a big time jobber. Rusev's a jobber. And I don't get the big deal about Rusev. I never really got that. Even my friends who I do the show with, they all love Rusev, and I used to say, "But why?" I mean, sure, his gimmick's old. It's done. It's
exactly.
He's not the Sheik. He doesn't have the charisma of the Iron Sheik. Break your back and make you humble. It doesn't have that. He's just a boring fuck. A boring fat fuck.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. And there's a lot of guys that, when it comes down to it, I've said this on many occasions, there's only a handful of people the WWE promotes.
Yeah.
The rest of them, I'll be quite honest with you. Remember, Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder was big, in 2011, I think it was?
Yeah, around
2011. Look at Cody Rhodes. Now he's obviously Stardust. He's going nowhere. Damian Sandow. He left WWE TV at one of his most popular moments. I didn't get it. I still don't. It just they've done a lot of strange things.
Cesaro turning heel after WrestleMania.
Yeah, Cesaro. Talking about Cesaro, John Cena has promoted him so many times. And, the bottom line is Cesaro could be a champion, but it's never going to happen in the WWE.
I'm interested to know your reaction to this. And a lot of people would brush this off, but I truly believe that one of the best things in the last couple of years that they have inexplicably just stopped, I don't get it. But bad news. He could have been something.
Barrett never. I'm going to tell you right now. I always thought he could be something. I always thought he should have been something.
The bad news gimmick was working though, you know. It was getting
Um,
people to identify.
it just, I don't know what the WWE was doing with it. I don't get it. I'll never get it, to be quite honest with you. Now he's left because he's doing a movie, I guess, in the UK. But yeah, yeah, they bring him back every time, and they give him a little bit of a push, and then they abruptly stop it. And I'm saying to myself, what? You know, I've talked about this too. Why are you doing this? Why do you stop it? You know, if you're going to push somebody, push them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they used to. I agree. They used to be able to book and make people champions, and now like they can't. They
No,
can't
it's not that they can't. It's because they don't want to.
for some weird reason.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go have some lunch, Iceman. But it was been good chatting
yeah,
with
no,
you.
no, no. You know what I'm gonna. I was just gonna tell you, I'm gonna go watch Raw. So,
All good. I hope you enjoy the show. I'll
hey, thanks
watch
for being
highlights.
on, my friend.
No problem. And thanks for the advice. And shout outs to all my old subs out there. Thank you, whoever you are. If you ever subscribe to King Kondo, thank you for your dislike, your like, your view, your subscription.
Give me, let me know what's going on with you on Facebook. You know, like I said, that's between you and I. So,
No worries. No worries. All right. See you later, mate.
you got it, buddy. All right, bye bye.